It's time to keep track. Here are the final stats.
Nigel, do you want to hit us with the old curse tracker?
Yeah, there's just one. He says damn one time.
Wow.
And that's it. That's actually one of the things I kind of liked about the character. You imagine an old grizzled murderer from the Old West would swear a lot, but he really doesn't. He says, I think he says like, damn it, one time he's getting exacerbated with something Brooke is telling him or saying to him. I can't quite remember the context of it, but yeah.
I feel like it was something where he was like, you just follow me, damn it, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It's when they were on the horse, I think. All right, so that brings our total count up to 602. Sorry, 603.
Wow, one curse through the whole movie.
Yeah, one curse, that's it. It was just one use of damn.
As we've said many times, we're only counting Nick Cage. We're not counting all curses.
Other people swore a lot, but he had a pretty clean mouth, which I don't know if that's just was supposed to be a character. I feel like if it was up to Cage, he might have sworn more, but maybe not. Maybe it's just the character's all business and doesn't like swearing, or maybe that's part of his like turned his life around. He doesn't swear anymore.
Yeah, I bet that. Yeah. Once he shaved that mustache, he cleaned up his mouth.
Became a respectable mercantile.
That mustache was the dirtiest thing about his face. Runtime, this is only a 95-minute long film, which, was shot in 18 days. So I guess that totally makes sense. But that's pretty low on the spectrum as far as our film runtimes. Mercifully, I feel like it was like The Rock was very long.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was our last film? Our film,
Arsenal
and The Old Way have been very short, so it's been nice. Our next film is pretty long, so jumping around a little bit. Nudity for this season, we've so far had 0 instances, 3 movies in, but that's going to change substantially in our next movie.
Yeah. I think we're going to make up for the 0 nudity over the last 3
films. That this might be the most instances of nudity in any film that we've done. The Wild Heart will be.
Yeah.
State and Country Tracker, we debated this of like, I think that we were supposed to be, the implication was we were in Wyoming in the opening scene. Then we go to Montana, and then somehow we speed run across from Montana to Colorado, which is a very long distance. Even in a car, that takes a while. So I think we ended up with 3 states, and none of those states we had ever been to before. That brings us up to 20 total states. I think we should just count it. We say it certainly isn't Wyoming, so I think that cements us in Wyoming. And then we say Montana's a state now, so that's Montana, and then Santa Rosa is obviously in Colorado. So, yeah, even though the whole movie was shot in Montana, every scene was shot in Montana.
Yeah,
the movie is telling us that we've been to these 3 different states. So, otherwise, we may never have another instance of Wyoming.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Colorado. I mean, I feel like I looked at one point like wondering whether or not we ever went to Colorado because we wanted to wear our Casa Bonita shirts for
I know, damn it.
Damn it. I didn't even think about it.
Budget versus gross. I have no idea how much this cost. If I had to guess, I would say $3 to $5 million. Which they did a lot with what they had. I feel like they did a really great job with like the interiors, especially in the beginning, with their homestead and the mercantile. This was actually a set that was built for another movie, and this is the second time that it's been used, so they reused it. I don't know what that first movie was. He never said in the commentary, but he said that it was built for a much higher budget movie, and they were able to reuse it, and so they were able to capitalize on that budget that they didn't have for this movie.
That's cool.
And they used it for the opening, the town that they're in when we go to Briggs Mercantile, and Santa Rosa. So all 3 of the Old West towns that we visit in this movie are all the same town redressed.
Yeah.
So they did a good job with that. It was believable. I thought it was good. Old West definitely felt legit. It made $59,729. So that brings our grand total up to $1.007.7 billion budget with a $2.318 billion gross over the course of our 33 movies, because we have those two that don't count, Dying of the Light and The Best of Times. So it's more than double so far. I feel like it's gonna end up like maybe triple because of some of the bigger action movies that we still have yet to do.
Yeah. On
our list of top grossing films, this is now the fourth lowest grand total we've ever had, sandwiched between Prisoners of the Ghostland and Arsenal at 59,000.
Ouch.
I mean,
it's a better movie than both of those.
This is definitely a better movie. For all its faults, I feel like this is actually a solid middle tier type movie. Definitely did the best with what they had, which you can't say for Arsenal. Like that movie was shot in 13 days, so you had 5 less days on that. But still, like it's an incoherent mess. Like The Old Way makes sense.
Yeah,
it's boring in a lot of points, but it makes sense throughout, and it's a coherent story. Prisoners of the Ghostland is not coherent ever at any moment in the entire movie. So there's that. This did get a rating. It's like, why didn't they put this thing out wider? Cage had just come off of Pig and Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Yeah. Why wasn't The Old Way put into more theaters?
Maybe they were doing a producer situation where they wanted it to bomb so they could claim an insurance write-off.
Maybe.
They never wanted this thing to make money. There's no fucking way, because they're right. They could have at
least got a couple million just by sticking it in theaters and attaching Nick Cage's name to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could have shotgunned off of Massive
Especially
Talent.
now after Massive Talent and Pig and Mandy and all those other recent critical hits.
I mean, Renfield is coming out wide, so why not? Why didn't The Old Way? I mean, I know it was an indie movie, very low budget, but still.
What did Pig make? I can't remember. What
not much. I think it was like 3.8 million.
Yeah, and that was Pig. Like that. I feel like a Western with Nicolas Cage automatically has more appeal than a movie about a guy missing a pig. And that still managed to make a few $1,000,000. So
yeah, well, that also had that critical acclaim, and I don't think they were planning on releasing that in theaters. Mm-hmm. I think is because it got so much hype behind it that it came out, and a lot of people wanted to go see it, myself included.
Yeah.
So I never had any moment where I was like, man, I need to go and see The Old Way in the theater.
I mean, just for the show, I wanted to. But other than that, like if we weren't doing the show, I'd be like, this is something I'll just catch on Netflix.
Anyways, this did get a rating, so it got an R rating, which brings us up to 17 total. Running away with it now, R rateds. And that leads us to the kill tracker.
All right, he had 11 confirmed kills in this one. So
wow, that's higher than I thought.
Yeah, he piled up some bodies there. I mean, it all took place at the very beginning and the very end. but yeah, which brings us to a total of 176 kills. And then he died, as we saw, which brings us to 11. So we're starting to add some more deaths to the tracker.
Yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, so far the last 2 in a row, spoilers.
Back to back for the last 2.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the lower budget movies he ends up dying.
It's probably going to be a theme going forward as we watch more of those direct to streaming ones.
Yeah.